Okay. Hello, everyone. You guys hear me okay? Put it in the chat. Make sure you can see my screen. You can hear me. Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks for joining. We love having you guys meet every once in a while. It's always fun. All right. All right, you guys help me out. Put in the chat where you guys are at in your Amazon journey. Are you new, very experienced, mega seller, here to teach me some stuff, or you're pretty new in the middle? And whether or not you guys are using 3P Mercury, it's always good to know who I'm talking to. New. See, just coming back. Well, welcome back. Let's see. Just going to be starting. Amazing experience, but want to see more of Merc. Amazing. Pretty new experienced seller. Awesome. So we got people from all over the place. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, if you guys are already using 3P Mercury and most likely already using Merc, you've already gotten a taste of what this thing is doing. But I will go over and explain a little bit just for those who are brand new or have not used 3P Mercury to know what this thing even is. So let me spend a few minutes doing that. Yeah, still got people just getting started. Awesome. All right. So with Amazon, okay, you experienced sellers know this very well, right? A lot of the hard part nowadays is not so much finding leads. It's actually quite easy to find leads nowadays, right? With all these tools out there. If you guys ever use leads lists, you know that's you know you're very well versed in doing rabbit trailing, things like that. You know, you can always hire a team of you know, virtual assistants for very cheap. Train them on the basics on how to source leads, especially now with all these tools like Nepeto, Tactical Arbitrage, Arbisource, those type of softwares. It's just so easy to find leads. But with you know, with any lead, with any ASIN, it's very difficult to maintain selling that same product over and over again, is because and this is true if you do wholesale as well. I do wholesale as well. And you know, that's because Amazon's a very dynamic market, right? It's always going up and down in terms of you know, competition, right? So for instance, you know, when you're sourcing products, you have to analyze quite a bit of quite a lot of things, right? You have to find where to well, you have to find out where to buy it, which we've already stated that is an easy thing. And then once you determine the cost, then that's where you start looking at everything else, right? So things like velocity. Does this product move? You know, what's my competition looking like? Is the competition going up or down? I mean, look at this product, right? It's like huge competition, you know, and then it just dipped down to nothing. And these are like, I love these types of products, right? And you find a lot of these types of products through leads lists, because it'll always get this on ramp of like a huge influx of new new competition that generally will just tank the price, right? But soon, like just sooner or later, right? And we don't know how long it'll take them to do it, but sooner or later, they begin to just disappear, right? They'll disappear for a while and then potentially never come back, like what we are looking at right here, right? And of course, this product has a little bit of Amazon selling it and whatnot. So and then Amazon does the same thing, right? They'll sell on it for a while and they'll leave. a lot of times Amazon's selling it, and they also will share the buy box. So you see a lot of these FBM sellers here selling against Amazon just because they may share the buy box, things like that, right? So one of those things you have to check for is dominant sellers, right? You have to go here in data, you have to go to buy box statistics and wait for it to load forever. You know, keep us not that quick, right? So you gotta wait. Still waiting. And then you got to see how often Amazon shares the buy box, right? So the last 90 days, they virtually have nothing. They only own 2% of the buy box. 180 days, Amazon still shares the buy box 60% of the time. So even though Amazon sells this product, it's still a great product, but you wouldn't know unless you checked all of these this data, right? There's also things like IP complaints you need to look for. And then sales velocity, like does it have this little yellow line right here, which is fairly new. It didn't exist a few years ago. But now we have more data, so we don't have to just rely on drops. And so sorry, I was just glancing at the comments for a second. So there's a lot of data points you actually have to look for, right? Now that's good and dandy if you do it one by one, as you're like manual sourcing potentially, but doing this at scale is nearly impossible, right? So imagine here, if I go into my lead database, and before I kind of get to that a little bit, some of you guys might be super new, so let me explain a little bit what 3P Mercury is. It is an entire workflow system for Amazon and Walmart sellers, right? More Amazon than Walmart, because Walmart is still like a very new, I would say very new in terms of technology and what type of data they have. But, it starts off, everything we have, all of the tools. We have the Chrome extension here that you can use for your profit calculator. This works on your phone as well for those who do retail arbitrage. And from your Chrome extension, you can then save all of your leads instead of to like a spreadsheet, like most or pretty much all Chrome extensions do, make you save to a spreadsheet or to a Google Sheet of some sort. We then save our leads to a database, which is inside of 3P Mercury. And you can just enter in all of the relevant information here. And then this is where the magic starts to happen, right? Because once it enters into your lead vault, it begins to track all of these products, right? And with tracking all of these products, it's pulling in, the latest market data, what is the buy box for today, how many sellers are on it versus 30 days ago. Is the buy box going up or down here? I can see 180 days ago it was $37, and now after 6 months it's gone up to $49. So I see a very good increase in buy box. You can see drops, average monthly sales, and then it'll automatically calculate your profit margin based off of your buy cost, right? So with all of that, right, this is what we used to, we still have, and you can still perform all of these functions. It's still like amazing that you can go into your entire database, run a couple of filters, like for instance, offer counts decreasing, and I can just hit apply, and I can see all offers where my competition is going down, right? Like if I really wanted to go and source products where the competition is decreasing, right? And I can just do a quick glance and see how much they're decreasing, and I can find it and see whether or not it's worth my time to jump on right now, right? Here, for instance, this product used to have 7 sellers. Now there's only 4 sellers. Profit used to be $1.24. Now it's $3.34. Buy box has increased by almost $2.50. So it's so easy to find these products with a database like 3P Mercury and the way it's tracking. But what we did was we said, okay, let's make this process even easier, right? Like we don't even want you to have to go through here and do all of that stuff, right? So with all of that, like all of those analysis that you have to do, now this product called M.E.R.C, which is short for Machine Enhanced Reselling Companion, what it does is it just goes through your entire database, both restock and leads, in your lead vault, and just analyzes all the market data for on your behalf, right? So it's looking for things like whether or not you're profitable and meet your profit criteria, whether or not it is at least break even over the last 90 days, does it have the velocity that you're looking for, is the competition going up or down? Here it's telling me the seller count's decreasing on this particular listing. Is there a dominant seller? So even if Amazon's selling it, is it owning more than 50% of the buy box? What's the offer position, in terms of the relative offer position historically? Or is it lower than or higher than your your average? Is it price tanking? Is there a lot of seller churn, meaning they sellers are going out of stock often, right? That's another calculation of velocity. Is there IP risk? Does it detect any kind of IP risk on this particular listing? Is Amazon selling? Is there hazmat? Is it a meltable product? And is it a brand that you've told 3P Mercury you don't want to sell, right? It's doing all of that every day, right? It's going every day, grabbing new fresh data, from Amazon. It grabs all that fresh data and then reanalyzes everything every single day, right? So imagine if you had tens of thousands of leads that you're having to hire VAs right now to do all of this analysis, to go grab new data. I don't know how you're doing it. Maybe you're downloading new Keepa data or something like that and putting in some fancy Excel spreadsheet. Maybe you're using another lead tracking software or something like that in the market that doesn't remotely get close to what this thing is doing. All of that still requires typically a lot of manual analysis, right? Like, you would have to go in and look at all of these other data points that like Keepa doesn't provide, or it takes a little bit of kind of like manual analysis to do, right? But here, Merc, we're using it. We're training our analysis engine to just do it for you, right? And so far, we've released it out to all of our subscribers. It started off with annual subscribers only for about nearly 2 months. And, we fixed all the kinks and performance issues and things like that. And then we released it out to all of our regular subscribers. And we're getting some amazing comments, things like, they had an ASIN that's been sitting there for, a few months, the price tanked, and they never looked at it again, and it just surfaced up on their Merc page. And they looked at it, and they're like, wow, this thing makes a tremendous amount of money. There's hardly any sellers left. Similar to this situation, right? Like here, right? There's hardly any sellers left because it's just decreasing to, like it's just going down very low, right? And there's very, very many products like this, that has the same, kind of like the same situation, right? And if you didn't have a product that actually tracks this, it would be very difficult to find, on a daily basis, right? You would kind of just have to hit and miss, kind of randomly click on your stuff to just see. And I've kind of like, before having a product like 3P Mercury, I operated the first 3 years or so selling Amazon without having a tool like this, right? So it was very challenging to always replenish my stuff, my ASINs on a regular basis, because things would tank and then I would have to check every once in a while. And that's the driver of why I built 3P Mercury for myself. It was to track. And I didn't find products in the market that I was happy with, because it would just kind of be like a little bit better than me maybe having a fancy spreadsheet. But so I my goal was to always make it better and better and better. And you know, a couple of years later now that this product has now advanced to this level because the sellers have given us input. I mean, our users have given us input, and all of these ideas were really driven by our own user base. Although I usually take their ideas that they want and kind of like take it to the next level, but you know, a lot of that is just, you know, evolved over time, right? So that's what this thing does, right? So this thing now, it has the ability to just analyze all of my leads, right? Now, we've taken it a step further than that, right? So this is kind of like what I'm excited to show you today. And let me before I get to that, let me field some questions. Otherwise, at the end of this meeting, I'm going to have like a gazillion questions to catch up on. But let me pause real quick and and let's see what questions we have. What were the other names? What were the other names of the tools I mentioned? So I typically well, I only mentioned tools that I use. You know, so I've used tactical arbitrage, Nepeto, and Arbisource. Nepeto is another one that's quite popular. Tactical arbitrage has been around for, you know, for years now. So they're very it's a very seasoned tool. And Arbisource is kind of like a newer face, at least to me. But yeah, those three I've used before, and usually if I try to recommend at least one of those if you're interested in using those type of products. Alicia says, I'm a yearly subscriber but never get any emails from 3P, not in my spam or junk folder. I bet you it might be, but or you've marked us as spam at one point and our emails don't go out to you. So I recommend you just send us a little intercom chat, like right here on this little bubble, and we'll get to you. Let's see. Hang needs a glass of water nearby. I got one. I'm just my allergies are horrendous, so you have to deal with my constant throat clearing. This is a real game changer for sure. How is an easy thing? I don't know what that means. How does the software work with used books? It analyzes everything. So whatever the market demands, it'll analyze both the new and the used market, and it'll analyze everything there for you. Let's see, in the profit score info under price tanking, if there is not a check but a dash, that means trend is not available. What causes this? It's just not enough information. Like, it's just essentially, it's either stable. It'll tell you, like if you look at the green dot, like price tanking, that dash right there says stable price competition. So it just means it's stable. It's like not good or bad. So it tells you the reason why. Or if it says not enough information, maybe the listing's too new, or maybe the data is too spotty and it can't really tell. Sometimes the data is just kind of weird looking. So it'll do that. You don't use Seller Amp or Keepa. We use Keepa, but definitely don't need a Seller Amp because we have a Chrome extension here for you. And this Chrome extension does quite a bit. Like a lot of those type of same analysis that we mentioned is already doing it in the Chrome extension. So you just pop in the price and you just point at it and it's looking at a lot of these things. Soon the Chrome extension will have a lot of the Merc type analysis for you as well. Not completely all of the data because we can't crunch some of this real time. Like the analysis engine actually has to do some work here. So whatever could be made available will be made available on the Chrome extension in the future. But you definitely don't need another Chrome extension. So that saves you, a good amount of money there. Let's see. Is Merc available for monthly subscribers? Yes, it is. We'll talk about that in a bit, but yes, it's been released recently for monthly subscribers. How do you recommend dealing with ASINs that require discounts to be profitable? Imagine those leads will start to clutter your results. So it depends. I've had listings where it's actually quite profitable without the without the discount. So the reason is because, and I like, for instance, let's say Merc determined, let's say you bought this thing at a discount before and only made a few bucks, but imagine if you are buying this product at the right time. Let's say you're tracking it and you go down to here and you're the only seller left. Generally, the discount doesn't really even matter at this point, right? You can raise your buy box to, I mean, your sales price to an astronomical number, right? Now this looks a little bit more like an out of stock scenario, right? But it's probably during COVID right here. But we've seen a lot of keep a charts that look like this that isn't out of stock, and it's just because the sellers forgot about it, right? And you'll see the sales price increase dramatically. And I don't know if we'll find any of those today, but you know, I'll just randomly click on some stuff and we might find them. But yeah, a lot of times you can sell things way higher than they used to sell for, just because there's hardly any sellers, right? Let's take a look at this one. I'm not sure. I'm just going to randomly click on some stuff, but but yeah, similar scenario, right? Look at this. It used to be 22 sellers and now there's 12, right? Your seller count has cut in half. When there's 22 sellers, the buy box was at $8.56, and now it's jumped up to $13. You see how sometimes sales don't matter? And that's kind of like the key, is that you need to just start tracking and buy at the right time. And I imagine if I had not shown this listing, it probably would have gone down even more, but probably a few hundred of you guys are watching this listing right now. That's the thing. Sometimes you don't even need a discount. How do I get my products from the lead vault into Merc? It'll just go in there. If you're new and you don't see any in there, just hit this refresh button, regenerate data, and it should populate that. It's automatic. You don't do anything. Yeah, it's run every day, but maybe you're new and it hasn't crunched your data yet. So just go in here and just hit regenerate data, and it should start to populate. All right, let's continue. So. All right, so now, after we release Merc, and it's always been in the back of our agenda, right, in the back of our mind, to take this to the next level. And you're thinking, you know, a lot of times we're like, man, how do we take this to the next level? We just eliminated lead analysis, right? But a lot of times with arbitrage, right, you're having to deal with prices going up, or things going out of stock. So what we did now is we introduced live cost updates, right? So what this does is it goes out and goes out to the website that you provide for Merc, right? So for instance, if I were to look at this lead here, this website that I provide for Merc, or for 3P Mercury, right, is you know, it's essentially your lead, right? But now what it can do is it can go out and actually check on your behalf, right? So if I were to look at this, all right, so there, you know, a lot of times you can go here and you're like, okay, oh wow, it's out of stock. Oh, the price was really great. I would have made a lot of money, but it's out of stock, right? And we deal with that all the time, right? $2.78. I would have made $3.59 in profit, even higher than that because the buy box has gone up to $13. So I would have made, you know, a nice $5 for a product that's so easy, right? You can just put it in a poly bag and slap a sticker on it, right? But it's out of stock. So what do, right? Now, you know, previously, you would just have to click this and then go see if it's in stock, what's the price. But now, I can just click this right here and refresh, and then wait for it to pull the live update for my product, right? And right there, it's pulling me the live cost of the supplier, and it's telling me it's out of stock, right? So this is now essentially eliminate that part, right? Like I can't imagine like what else are we gonna cut out? Like I mean, you know what I mean? Um, so that was for me to demonstrate the ability to pull it on demand, right? But what if I wanted this thing to pull every single day or once a month or once a week? What I can do now is I can begin to start tracking this on the supplier side. I can say, hey, add live cost to my cost schedule, right? I can just click that, right? Or I can remove it if I want to, right? Let's say this product is never in stock and I'm just like, all right, I don't want to track it anymore. I can just remove it. And what this does for me is if I look at this live cost schedule, right? These are all the products that I'm tracking in my database, right? And I can check this on a daily basis. I can check it once. I can check it monthly. Maybe it's an annual type of product, like maybe it's only a Christmas thing, right? And if it's annual, I can tell it what day I want it to check, right? Like let's say it's a product that's only sold in Christmas time, and I really don't care the rest of the year. I can do that. If it's a weekly thing, maybe it goes on sale every Thursday or something like that, right? You can tell it check every Thursday for me or something, or monthly, check it on a monthly basis. Whatever you want, you can tell it when to start, when to stop, and then this auto update will automatically update my lead. If I turn it on, it's going to automatically apply whatever cost that it pulls and updates my lead so that I always have the most fresh data inside of my lead, right? And it'll tell me whether or not the product is in stock or out of stock, so I can always check my vault as well. I mean my cost schedule as well in this queue. I can do refreshes. I can open up the link. I can just click this thing and like, okay, let me take a look. Okay, it's 23.50 and it's out of stock, right? Like it's literally just doing all these checks for me, right? So that's what we're working on, and we're really like, I mean, this is like now kind of like the new thing, right? Like it's like where do we go from here, right? So I'm really like like I can't wait to just like make this thing like available for everybody and get everybody to use it. But with site scraping, it's very tricky, and we're very early on the stage as well. So I want to make sure that before we release it out to everyone, that it is a very good product. So we want to make sure that we kind of follow the same approach like we did with Merc, right? Like go slow and steady. We don't want to just release it out and like for you guys who know about the first Merc release, it crashed the system like several times, right? Like when we had a few people testing it, it was fine, right? We had like maybe 10 people testing Merc, it was fine, and then we released it out to nearly 200 people, and it crashed the system like 4 times. So so we don't want to do that again with this feature. So it will be I will present the ability to be able to test this in a little bit later in the webinar. But yeah, we're so excited to have this now. It's just like it saves so much time. Of course, during the beta testing, we're going to take all of your feedback as well. There's a lot of things that I can already kind of like have ideas with in terms of making this even better or a little bit easier to use. Like maybe I want to update all of my Merc, profitable products, and a lot of you guys might be thinking, okay, why don't you just update all of my products, right? Well, for one, this costs money, right? Even with tools like Arbisource, Nepeto, and things like that, you can't just go scrape unlimited, right? Tactical arbitrage limits you per hour and how many times you can do things. I believe Arbisource, like you can only do 5 storefront scans per day. Nepeto, I can't remember what their limits are, but these types of things are expensive. On top of that, we are using AI to do this. So every time we do it, we're wasting AI tokens. So, what we're going to do is, during this phase, we're going to teach you on how to apply these costs effectively, right? Because let's say, for instance, you do wholesale, a lot of you do some wholesale like I do, right? Well, I have tens of thousands of ASINs that are wholesale related, that are kind of like behind a like a what you call it, like a lot of wholesales don't even have a website, right? Like they send me like pricing sheets, every once in a while when I request it, right? So for the system to then go try to check all of those products is a complete waste of resources, right? So that's why you don't want to apply all of this to products that are unscannable, right? Also, there are products you don't even want to check. Like for instance, what about like clothing and shoes that are out of stock, like forever out of stock, right? You don't want to. We wouldn't want to waste our resources scraping those either, right? So we're leaving the decision of which ones you guys want to scrape. We're leaving that power to you, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to make it a little bit easier for you to manage them. But for me, what I do is I just go through my Merc page and I just scrape it here, right? Like if I just if I go through here and then I start to, let's say for instance, I want an update real quick and I want to see if the price is still the same, then I can just click that and just scan it that way. Prices couldn't be received. So whenever you don't have whenever it can't pull it off of a website, maybe it's a broken link or something like that, then it won't affect your credit system. We are doing this based on a credit system. So right now, only during a testing phase, we will give a limited use of this. So probably we haven't decided fully on the number of credits to give, but it's probably going to be somewhere between 5,000 to 8,000 credits per month, right? And a lot of you guys who are new, that's more than plenty, right, to use. I mean, you probably don't even have 8,000 ASINs, right? So as we make this a little bit better, a little bit more accurate, then we're going to then maybe open it up a little bit more, and time will tell, right? We don't know how long that would be, but yeah, you can just refresh these, and then if I go through it and I see that, oh, this is something that I want to continue to track and is a good product and things like that, and then that's where I would then add it to my live cost schedule to continue to track on any frequency that I want, right? So that's how it would work. Let's see what some questions that kind of start flowing through here. Will the pricing update work on my supplier accounts that require a login? That would be a no. No scraping, only bot scraping works with that, right? Because you would have to get the browser itself to log you in. No server-side scraping can do that, right? That's why Nepeto doesn't work like that, and Arbisource doesn't work like that, right? Because the server can't log in on your behalf, you know what I mean? So that's not how that works. When will we have access to this? We'll talk about that in a second. Can't wait to get this. It's out there right now. Oh, I thought he was talking about Merc, not the suppliers, my bad. So Merc is available for you right now. Like if you guys want to use it, you can use it right now. This is also cool. I want to show you this as well inside of your lead vault. You can do this as well inside of your lead data. So I mean, if I wanted to go here, and I can assuming I actually have a link. A lot of my things are fake, but yeah, I think this is a real link. I can do this here as well. So I can add all of these to my live cost schedule. See here, it just says that this thing is $39.99 still, right? So I can tell like this is still the current live cost. Let's compare it real quick. Let's make sure it's actually right. See, it's $39.99. It's available to add to cart, so it's in stock. So you can actually do this from your lead vault as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so so yeah, this is kind of like the future, man. This is I don't know I don't know you guys are gonna have to come up with something creative in terms of what else this 3P Mercury system can do. It can do so much already. Merc is going to keep advancing as well. We're going to keep adding more and more modules to Merc. You know, we have a lot already in the works. I've shown that in a previous demo back in October. We just focus so much on this purchasing recommendation that this is kind of like what all we've been doing on top of the live cost. But this is pretty, I mean, this is just life changing. I've been using this for myself for, you know, a good month now. So all right, so you guys who, I do have some other stuff to mention. So if you guys are interested in 3P Mercury, as usual, you can go to our web deal page, right? 3pmercury.com/web deal. Okay, if you guys are wanting to use 3P Mercury and get Merc is all included. So we got a couple things for you. Here, so the elite plan includes everything that is it's the full suite, right? So elite is our top level plan. If you want to know the details, you can always go to 3pmercury.com and look at the pricing page and see, like, we actually like normally charge $399 for this on the retail website, but for you guys is always at a discount. $120 for the monthly subscription. You'll get Merc. And this needs to change. That's not right. You do get this other thing though. I'll need to update that. But so $120 per month, you get the full elite suite, 100,000 ASINs that you can track. Merc is included. You get the private group and my trainings that I do nearly every Monday. So I go Monday live and train you on how to use the system. I give you a lot of insight on selling on Amazon, things like that. We have a lot of fun during our live training. Of course, you know, cancel anytime, support. You can reach us out by email or by intercom. Now the elite annual plan. Okay, you guys who are currently subscribed to our monthly plan, if you want to get on our annual plan, you know, definitely reach out to us on Intercom on how to do that. But it includes everything with Merc plus early access to this live cost update with the limited use, right? We're gonna give you a monthly a budget of credits that you can use. That's, you know, going to be fairly, you know, sufficient for you guys to start playing with this this feature, start tracking things, and then giving us some feedback, helping us make it better. And then over time, we're going to open up those credits a little bit more and see where we land at it, you know, when we finally release. Also, you get access to this next level workshop that, you know, if you want to buy separately, you can definitely reach out to our office at this number. I should have put it on the website, but you can definitely reach out to us at this phone number if you want to buy it separately. But for the annual subscribers, you guys can get access to this workshop. I'll talk about it in a second. But you get also 3 assisted onboarding sessions. This usually, some people buy separately as well. Some people just say, hey, can you train me on setting up 3P Mercury, training my team on how to use it? I don't want to watch videos. I don't want to read manuals. Like, just teach me how to do it, right? Like, there's a lot of big sellers out there that just don't have time to waste, right? And they pay for it. Like, they would actually pay for these sessions. And we throw it in there with our annual subscription. So, you know, you get a one-on-one. It's not group training, so nobody has to, you know, if you have any sensitive information, like, you know, we don't, you know, it's not a group session, right? So it's one-on-one with you with a 3P Mercury certified or a specialist or trainer. You get that. Now, I want to talk to you guys about this because this is kind of cool, right? I haven't really mentioned this too much other than inside of our private Facebook group, right? A lot of you guys said you were new, and you know, I keep hearing these, how do you call it? Demoralizing comments. I don't know if, for lack of a better word, demoralizing comments of, you know, hey, I'm brand new, but I can't find anything that I'm ungated to sell. You know, it's just too hard, right? And I even hear veterans kind of like discouraging new sellers, saying, you know, yeah, it's so hard now compared to 3 years ago. And I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a true statement, but 3 years ago was harder than 3 years before that, right? So it's just like for me, I just got frustrated because I've been teaching you guys on how to use 3P Mercury to get ungated, or not ungated, but to find products that you're already ungated in. And I've shown that to several people, and they've been successful. But for some reason, it's like there's always like an up and down period where it's like people are like, oh, well, I still can't find things, you know, or whatever, right? So I kind of took it a challenge upon myself. I reached out to some of our user base and I said, hey, if you're new and you're having a problem getting ungated, would you like me to find you some products that you're able to sell and profitable, right? And we got a lot of people raising their hands and everything. And of course, I'm not going to do that for everybody, right? So I just randomly picked somebody. And I told them, okay, well, create me a user account on your 3P Mercury system, right? Because I don't want to cheat, right? Because if I were trying to use my own process for my account that's been around for like 5 years, right? It's kind of not fair because there's so many things I'm ungated for, right? So I was like, okay, how hard is this actually? I mean, how big of a problem is this, right? And so I was like, okay, well, I will know for sure if I'm trying to do it on a new seller account, right? So I picked a user, and I was able to access a sub account for that one, and within an hour, using the methods that I taught, right? And I didn't even try that hard, but I was able to load in about about 300 ASINs that were completely open and ungated, right? Sometimes entire brands, right? Like an entire brand, every listing under that brand was ungated, right? And so the next excuse is, well, I'm ungated, but I can't find any profitable place to buy it from, right? So I wanted to crush that excuse. So I was like, okay, not only am I going to find you some ASINs, I'm not going to do all of them, but I'm going to pick some at random and see if I can source it profitably, right? And I was able to find a bunch, right? In just one sitting, I was able to find a bunch of listings where it's wildly profitable, right? And what I did was I recorded, I basically documented all of this, how I did it, you know, exactly what I did. And the editing is happening right now for that video. And I'm going to give this to you guys, all of you guys who subscribe by that date right there. I'm going to give it to you guys, right? So any current subscriber, you guys will have access to it, right? Once the video is edited, I will send you guys an email on how to get it. So if you guys, and a post inside of Facebook, if I'll post it as well. If you guys don't get my emails, you better unblock my emails, because a lot of good stuff comes through my emails, all right? So yeah, so if you guys sign up by this date, you'll get it. And then after that, you're gonna have to just wait for the rest to release, right? Now, for you guys who are annual subscribers, okay, we got a lot of annual subscribers already. So first of all, thank you for subscribing, right? But what we're gonna do is we're going to give you this live workshop. So this live workshop starts on April the 1st. I would have started it sooner, but spring break, and I know a lot of people are gonna be out, maybe myself, but Uh, so I wanted to start it around April. So April 1st is when we're going to start this next level workshop. And this will be included for you guys if you subscribe as an annual subscription, right? And it starts literally on April the 1st. And you know, we will record it, but we won't edit it for a while. So we'll, you know, we're going to do the workshop. So, you know, eventually we're going to give the workshop out to everyone that subscribes, but it's probably going to be several months after that, after the whole thing completes. I mean, the whole workshop itself might take about a month. We'll probably do it once a week, maybe a little bit, maybe twice a week, but for now, we're still coming up with the schedule. But this workshop right now only makes sense for the annual subscribers, because what we're going to do is we're going to train you on how to use Merc and the live costs, you know, how to optimize that workflow, how to use it successfully. We're going to do it together. But beyond that, we're also going to make sure on the first couple of on the first session, we're going to go over a little bit of primer, a little bit of mindset, a little bit of you know, Amazon basics, a little bit, so that you can kind of understand that, and then the overall kind of like workflow of how you're going to do things, right? The second and third session, we're going to talk about finding leads. That's all we're going to do, is just find leads, right? And we're going to do it together. It's not just going to be me talking about like, oh, okay, you know, this is how you would do something or whatnot, right? It's literally, you're just going to watch me do it. So it's like, if I didn't have virtual assistants, if I were just starting brand new again, this is exactly how I would find leads. And then third session, I'll show you how to find it even faster with tools like Arbisource, Nepeto, tactical arbitrage. And then I'll show you kind of like the good and the bad side. But even if you use tactical arbitrage and Nepeto, like, I mean, I consistently get about 5 to 10% of whatever I send them, right? So if I send them 1,000 ASINs, I'll probably maybe get 50 out of it, right? So the other ones, I'll show you exactly how to get more out of that, right? So we're gonna do kind of like finding leads in bulk. And then we're gonna do a lot of Merc, right? Because Merc is it's the future, right? So we're gonna do a lot of Merc, and then we're gonna do a lot of you know, using the live costs and how that's going to help me run my day to day. You know, restock optimization, you know, a lot of things, right? And then optimize workflow. And I'm gonna teach you guys on this fifth and final session on how to optimize your workflow through building teams. You know, what type of delegation should you do? You know, in terms of like cash flow management, there's gonna be so much good stuff in there. You guys, I mean, it's gonna be so worth it. If you guys are interested and you don't want to sign up for the annual, we are selling this package separately for $9.97, but you might as well just sign up for the annual. But we're selling it. If you guys just like, well, I just want the course, I don't want the annual, okay, cool. Call our office at you know, 801-693-1688. You can always get the number right here, but for you guys who haven't, you know, subscribed yet, that's the number. 801-693-1688. Call our office and say that, hey, you want to get the next level workshop. They'll probably ask you like, why don't you just get the whole annual subscription and you get everything, right? Because how are you gonna do 3P Mercury without 3P Mercury, right? So you can just get this and stick on your monthly subscription if you want to. But yeah, that's coming there. I'm really excited to teach that workshop. I think you guys are going to get a lot out of it. If you guys are new, you're going to like be light speed ahead of where you are now, and it's going to be hot. So yeah, so that's essentially what we have for you today. I hope that I know you guys, a lot of you guys are already annual subscribers, so we're going to release the live cost for you guys in the next few days. So you're gonna hear, you know, we're gonna hear a lot about it, whether it's good or bad. We're gonna hear a lot, but from what we've learned from releasing Merc, it's all been good. So you know, we can't wait to see what you think. about having the live cost feature. You know, this is one of those features that it was one of those dream features that everybody wanted. You know, everybody that's ever subscribed to 3P Mercury says, if you could do this, it would be amazing, right? If you can just update my supplier costs, that would be just game changing, right? And I've heard this comment for 2 years now. All right, but it's pretty hard to pull off. It's not easy, right? We managed to do it. I think we did a really great job. There's so much more tweaks and improvements that can, there's more to come, and it's going to be better. So when will live cost be available for monthly subscribe? Oh, actually, let me go back to all the comments. Let's see. If you update live costs in Merc, will it carry over to the lead vault or vice versa? Yep, it will be. It will definitely carry over because all of this piggybacks off of your lead vault anyways. All of these actually comes from your lead vault. It's not a separate thing. The whole system is connected. What about those who are already annual subscription? You get it. Hey, congratulations, you're gonna get it. How can we request the 3 sessions after we buy 3 p.m.? You'll get a instruction through your email. So again, if you don't get our emails, you gotta send us a message and let us figure out what's going on. A lot of it goes to spam. A lot of it you accidentally just click and be like, hey, this is spam. I never want to see it again. And then what it does is it unsubscribes you from our email distribution, right? So make sure that if you don't get any of our emails, we send out emails, every once in a while. So if you've never gotten any of our emails, for sure, reach out to us and see if we can get you back on the the email thing. You'll get an email on how to take on the 3 sessions, and if not, you can always reach out to us on intercom as well. But food is horrible to sell. Amazon is sending emails stating customers complain about expiration dates. It depends. I sell still a decent amount of food, but I do get it wholesale. But I've done food in the past. Online arbitrage, I might agree with you. Stuff breaks. Food's probably better for retail arbitrage if you go there and you can at least verify the expiration date. So yeah, I do agree with you. All right, let's see. Can't wait to see it. Will you put the video in the bonus section? Oh, the ungate thing. I haven't decided where to put it, but I'll definitely let you know how to get it. I might put it there. I'm not sure. I sell a lot of food stick to dry goods with multi-year expiration dates. Yeah, I mean, food's fine. Like literally, I know some sellers, all they sell is food, but they do wholesale and they sell a lot of food. Food's fine. Online arbitrage food's a little tough because you'll get boxes that are broken. They'll send you stuff that's like expiring in 3 weeks, things like that. So it's pretty tough. How many days is that workshop? So it's 5 sessions, but I haven't figured out if I'm going to do it once a week or twice a week or whatever, but that full schedule isn't out yet. We're still planning that right now, but it's going to be 5 sessions, and it's going to be a tad long. It's going to be like an hour-and-a-half session because there's a lot to discuss, a lot to go over, a lot of content there. So you guys are going to, it's well worth it. Like a lot of people would sell something like that for $9.97, right? But we always like to treat our customers the best. Let's see, Alicia, what are you referring to? Okay, I've lost all content about that. You were referring to Alicia, not me. Okay, is there a specific timing for the workshop? So timing in terms of date, what time it starts, it's going to be in the evening because that's when most people can attend. So my evening time, similar to this webinar here, that's when most people can attend. If I do it in the morning, most people are at work, and unless you're in another country, but most of our users are in the US, so we do it, we typically do it in the evening time. maybe a little bit later, 6 or 7, depends. Since I go a little bit longer, we might start at 6 instead of at 7, because then it'll be a little bit too late. So probably around 6 p.m. Central Time, I think. When will the live cost be available for the monthly subscribers? So we don't know, and we don't like plan this on purpose. Like, we don't just say like, oh, we're gonna drag it out as long as possible. No, we want these features to be out as soon as possible. Right? We have way more monthly subscribers than we have annual subscribers, right? So we want it out to you guys, and then, you know, you guys love it, and then it attracts more and more you know, monthly subscribers, right? So we're not dragging this out, but we want it to be good, like just like Merc, right? Like, we don't want to have a situation where things break, or let's say it's not efficient, right? Let's say when you start using it, you're like, hey, we wish it could do this, right? X, Y, and Z, right? So it takes time to implement feature enhancements and then test those things out. Who knows? Things might be buggy, or maybe only you know, maybe a lot of some particular websites might not work, right? We might have to go and fine tune it and tweak it, right? A lot of websites, they're tricky, man. Like, they have engineers specifically for anti-scraping, you know, technology, right? Like, they do all kinds of stuff just to prevent you from scraping their site. So a lot of times it's just, you know, we got to make it good before we release it out. So I imagine, though, I think this feature might take longer than the Merc beta. So the Merc beta was around nearly 2 months. And I think this one will take longer, because this is actually a little bit earlier stage. Like, I was actually talking to the dev team, and I was kind of concerned. I was like, should we release this now, or should we, you know, test it a little bit longer, right? But you know, every time we test it, it's gotten to at least like an 80% accuracy. So we're like, you know, how long are we gonna wait? You know, we'll never get it to 100%. No software can get it to 100%, right? So we might as well just try it out and see what feedback we get. The more people use it, the more data we'll have, and the faster we can implement changes. So we long, you know, long answer to your question. We don't know. Could be 3 months. We don't know. Like, we'll see, right? Let's see. I didn't realize 3P Mercury's been around that long. It's been around for a little bit. We've been through some stages, right? You know, we've only had a public launch for not too long ago, but we've kind of like had silent signups where we didn't advertise. Not a full public launch, you know. So it's total time has been you know, 2 years or so, 2.5 years. Okay, let's see. How much credit will I spend for tracking one live cost? 1 credit. So basically 1 credit, 1 tracking. Like, so you can track like 5, well, for now, 5,000, you can track it 5,000 times, right? And we're gonna open that up. The more we see, the more data we get and see how things are, you know, work out a little kink here and there, we'll open that up for sure. But for now, we don't want people just blowing all of our money because it does cost money. Unfortunately, it's not free. If it was free, I'd give unlimited credits or like a no credit system. But while we're testing, we definitely want to be a little bit conservative there. I don't see these new features live sourcing price. We haven't released it yet. So in a couple days, we'll release it out for all of you annual subscribers. Thoughts on a newbie going to ASD? I don't really have a whole lot of comment on that. I mean, it's probably worth your time if you like doing wholesale, but there's a lot of junk wholesale there too. I don't go. So if you guys like to go, I mean, go have at it. Let's see. If you don't mind sharing what your percentage split between OA and wholesale. I used to be 80% wholesale, 20% OA. Now I'm more like 70% OA and 30% wholesale. And that's the reason is because wholesale's margins are just so slim. unless you have like brand exclusive rights, I mean, it's like it's just so slim. I rather just do OA and let Merc tell me these opportunity buys, where it's just like this is a little play account that I'm showing you, right? Like my real account has like 50 times more ASINs than what I have in this little play account, right? So I have I have like 15,000 pages here that in my real account, right? So all the good leads funnel up to the top, right? And if I just sit there and I go through like maybe 10 pages, I'm probably out of money, right? Like it's just giving me so many good leads that I don't have the money to spend. So I just use a lot of it on OA, and I end up making ridiculous amounts of money. Like I just make like, you know, on a lot of products, I make like $20, $15. I mean, there's like, because I just look for listings where there's hardly any competition left. And then I just repeat that. And that's what Merc does for you. That's how good this product is. It just can just find products like that for you, right? Let's see. Looking forward to spending some evenings at the workshop. Yep, it'll be hot. I'm still fairly new, but know enough to be dangerous. Would love to partner with you. Have some tips and tricks. Oh, you're talking about the other guy. Okay. When you use the RA mobile app and make a purchase, does it update the cost price? Yeah, everything is linked together. So this is like the cool thing about this system is everything is linked together. When you have this inside of let's say, for instance, I have this inside of here inside of Merc, and I want to make a purchase. I can just add this to cart. I can just say how many I want to buy, right? Let's say I want to buy 10 of these. I can go ahead and create this to a buy list, right? And then I can go to my buy list section and then see everything that I want to buy, right? And I can add all of these to a purchase order. And once I create a purchase order, I mean, everything is now in the system, right? Everything flows. I can start attaching receipts. Like if I start buying these products, I can just attach receipts. It'll calculate all my taxes for me. It'll do everything, right? And then, you know, once I make a purchase, it's automatically like, it informs Merc, like when was the last time I bought the thing, right? So it'll even tell me like, hey, you just bought you just bought this today on March the 5th, right? So then I can go out and just filter for stuff that I haven't bought that I need to buy. So everything is automatically connected. It transfers all the way down to even the receiving stage, so that I can begin to start shipping the product. It has all of my profit and loss statements, like reports, P&Ls, sales detail. It's so much stuff is in here. Inventory valuation. We got a gazillion reports there for you. So it really replaces so many tools, this 3P Mercury. You really don't need a whole lot of additional tools on top of 3P Mercury, although we focus so much on Merc and we focus so much on like live costs today. But there are so many more things that this system does that takes over your finances. It takes over your receipt management, budgeting with buy lists, right? Your buy list section, it helps you budget your money. And then there's so many more things coming to Merc, so it's just amazing. Inside of the bonus section, there's sourcing sessions for you to watch. There's an ungating guide. There's a little supplier list to help you with online arbitrage if you just don't have any ideas of what to buy. There's a whole list of websites that kind of give you an idea. There's a bunch of things that will just certainly help you out. But yeah, so if you guys are definitely interested, this will be very helpful for you guys on that are new and have a really hard time, because I really spent a lot of time kind of walking you step by step on what to do to find those ungated ASINs. I even show you like tips on how to make things profitable, right? Like a live example, not just theory. Like I actually went through it and be like, all right, this thing is not profitable. Watch me make it profitable, right? So like amazing tips in just that video alone. So you definitely, want to watch that. Great thing to send to your virtual assistants team if you have one. It's a great training video if you have that. And of course, any of you guys, I mean, we have a good chunk of you guys already on the annual plan. Can't wait to start this next level workshop with you guys. Anybody that wants to join the next level workshop, it will be live, so you do need to join before this date right here, because we're starting on April the 1st. So you definitely, if you're interested, grab the annual plan, get access to the live cost updates, get your 3 assisted onboarding sessions, and all that stuff. This will be emailed out to you guys. So again, if you don't get our emails, please send us an intercom message. It'll take us another day or so to finish the editing, and then we'll send that out to you guys through email for now. And I may post that in the bonus section as well. I'm not sure, but yeah, so that's pretty much concludes everything. I think what kind of capabilities are coming to the P&L side? So with the P&L side, it really has everything for you to crunch up a good P&L. You can do custom expenses in there. Like you pay your virtual assistants, you pay rent on your warehouse, software subscriptions, things like that. You can enter all of those things in. And it will help you calculate your P&Ls. It'll pull all of your data from Amazon. It'll calculate everything based off of your cost of goods sold that you put into 3P Mercury. And we're waiting for more and more enhancements. So if you guys want more things in there, we'll make it happen. All right, but anyways, you guys, I appreciate you guys joining me tonight, and I'm looking forward to launching all of these things. I mean, this has been a lot of work, and I think you guys will absolutely love it. Now, I do have stick around. Hang on a second, stick around. I need to announce the winner of a annual a free year of 3P Mercury. So let me randomize your names so I can pick somebody. Give me a second. Let me enter your name real quick. Okay. All right. All right, y'all ready? All right, random pick. Just to show you I'm not cheating, I put it into ChatGPT, and that is the person who is getting 3P, 1 year of 3P, right? So you guys who, thank you for joining. We'll do this every once in a while. We always like to pick a user. So I'm gonna put this in the comments here. If that's you, reach out to us either by email or by intercom. If you're already a 3P Mercury user, we'll just add a year to whatever you got. If you already an annual subscription, we'll give you another year, right? So whatever that is. If you're brand new, well, just send us an email at support@3pmercury.com, and we'll get you set up on 3P Mercury. If you're already a user, again, we'll add a year to your account. Yeah, so congratulations to Alicia there. And she replied. Did she reply? Somebody just tell me what happened. Am I engaged? You just want a year of 3P Mercury. So again, if you are already subscribed, reach out to us on intercom, and we'll add a year to your account. If you are not a subscriber yet to 3P Mercury, reach out to us at support@3pmercury.com and send us an email saying you are that Alicia that got the annual subscription, and we'll go ahead and send you instructions on how to set it up and get your annual thing. All right. All right, so all right. Okay. Anyways, so congratulations. This is always fun, and I'll talk to you guys again. But yeah, talk to you soon. See you in the workshop, and I'll be communicating with you about this this awesome little training I did, a little experiment. I can't wait to share it with you because gating is not a problem. Like, if you guys keep thinking gating is a problem, it's really not a problem. So just watch me do it, and you'll get it. All right. All of us are Alicia. That's funny. All right. Okay. All right, guys. You guys have a great rest of your night. Talk to you soon.